Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Bachelor in Paradise's Jade Roper marks 2 years since missed miscarriage. Grief is quieter now. Bachelor in Paradise star Jade Roper is marking a somber anniversary. 2 years since my D&C 2 years without you sweet beau, the reality TV star wrote via Instagram on Saturday, September 6, referring to a dilation and curettage, a procedure in which the cervix is dilated in order to remove tissue from inside the uterus. The procedure is commonly used for abortions and to treat missed or incomplete miscarriages. Grief is quieter now, but it's still here, woven into who I am, Roper continued. Remembering the baby I never got to hold, yet still hold in my heart. Roper included several photos in the post, including a picture of her cradling her then-pregnant stomach and a snapshot of an ultrasound. Roper also shared a picture of herself in a hospital, a small blue heart-shaped cake with the name Beau written in icing, and a photo of her hands on her stomach as she appeared to be laying in bed. In August 2023, Roper announced she was expecting her 4th child with husband Tanner Tolbert when she experienced a pregnancy loss. "I've been struggling what to write here as I've been navigating a miscarriage," she wrote via Instagram at the time. "It felt like all my dreams were coming true to welcome another baby into our lives, to love and to complete our family. While our hearts are completely broken and we have been dealing with the deep and complex grief of the loss, we have been blessed to be touched by his soul or his short amount of time. I am forever changed." She continued, "I'm currently experiencing what is called a missed miscarriage. So while his heart has stopped and he has stopped growing for some time now, my body hasn't released the pregnancy yet. I am hoping to do this naturally and am trusting in timing and in my body under the care of my provider." Roper went on to write that she had been carrying the pregnancy with so much pride and cherish every moment still left with part of him, adding that it has also been equally as challenging and devastating. "So while I hold my belly here, our sweet baby's body is resting in my womb as his soul soars," she concluded. "We love you with every piece of our hearts, baby Beau." An estimated 1 in 4 pregnancies will end in a miscarriage, according to the World Health Organization, though researchers believe the number of pregnancy losses is actually higher, as many people can miscarry without ever knowing or realizing they were pregnant. Despite prevailing stigma associated with miscarriage and pregnancy loss, doctors often do not know why a pregnancy loss occurs. According to the Mayo Clinic, most miscarriages are the result of an embryonic or fetal chromosomal abnormality. When fans first met Jade Roper on The Bachelor and later on Bachelor in Paradise, she was the picture of resilience wrapped in vulnerability. She found love with Tanner Tolbert under the Mexican sun, and the two quickly became one of the franchise's most enduring success stories. Their fairy tale romance blossomed into a marriage, children, and a life largely lived in the public eye. But behind the Instagram-worthy snapshots and red carpet smiles, Jade carried a private heartbreak that reshaped her perspective on motherhood, marriage, and grief. This week, Jade opened up about the deeply personal milestone of marking 2 years since her missed miscarriage, a moment in her family's story that fans remember her sharing in real time. Her words now reflect a subtle but powerful shift in her healing journey. "Grief is quieter now," she revealed, encapsulating the way sorrow can evolve from sharp, unrelenting pain into a softer, lingering presence that never fully fades. A pain that changed everything. 2 years ago, Jade and Tanner announced they were expecting another child. Like so many families, they had already begun to dream about the baby's future, to imagine the little one playing alongside siblings, to wonder who the baby might look like. But then came the devastating news, what doctors call a missed miscarriage. The baby had stopped growing, but Jade's body had not yet recognized the loss. She described the moment then as shattering. The stillness on the ultrasound screen, the quietness of the doctor's office, the wave of numbness that washed over her. For Jade, who had shared so much of her motherhood journey with fans, the miscarriage was a heartbreak she couldn't hide. She spoke candidly about her sorrow, choosing transparency over silence, and in doing so, opened the floodgates for thousands of women to share their own stories of pregnancy loss. Now, 2 years later, she reflects on how grief has changed. "It's not gone," she admitted, "but it's gentler. It doesn't scream anymore. It whispers." Finding solace in motherhood. Jade is already a mother to 3 children, Emmy, Brooks, and Reed, and she often shares snippets of their joyful chaos online. But the shadow of the child she lost lingers quietly in the corners of family life. She says sometimes she wonders who that baby would have been, what role they would have played in the family dynamic, how they would have looked climbing into their siblings' arms. Still, Jade has learned to let those thoughts rest in her heart without overwhelming her. "I've learned that grief can live beside joy," she wrote in a recent post. "I can celebrate the children I hold while honoring the one I never got to." It's a delicate balance, loving fully while grieving quietly, and Jade has become a voice for mothers learning to walk that same line. Tanner's role in the healing. Fans of Bachelor in Paradise remember Tanner as the steady, grounded presence to Jade's more vulnerable heart. In the aftermath of their loss, Jade has said Tanner was her anchor. He grieved in his own way, often quieter, less visible, but never left her side. She recalls moments when he held her in the middle of the night as she cried, and other times when he distracted her with laughter, reminding her that joy still existed in their home. Their shared grief deepened their bond, carving out a new layer of intimacy in their marriage. Miscarriage doesn't just happen to a mother, Jade reminded her followers. It happens to a family. The online sisterhood of grief. One of the unexpected outcomes of Jade's transparency was the tidal wave of support she received. Women flooded her social media with messages of solidarity, their own miscarriage stories, their own scars, their own quiet grief. In the comments, Jade noticed something beautiful forming, a sisterhood built on shared loss. She began responding to women, thanking them for trusting her with their stories, reminding them they weren't alone. In doing so, Jade helped dismantle some of the silence that so often surrounds pregnancy loss. "Talking about it doesn't make it hurt more," Jade said. "Not talking about it does." 2 years later, the sound of quieter grief. Now, as she marks 2 years since her miscarriage, Jade's reflections carry the wisdom of time. She acknowledges that anniversaries of loss can reopen wounds, but she also notices the subtle ways healing has taken root. 2 years ago, I thought I'd never breathe without feeling that ache, she shared. Now, the ache is still there, but it doesn't suffocate me. It lives beside me. She describes grief as having seasons, sometimes sharp and unbearable, other times soft and reflective. In these quieter moments, Jade has learned to honor the baby she lost with tenderness rather than despair. The role of faith and hope. Though Jade doesn't often speak overtly about religion, she has hinted at a spiritual dimension to her healing. She says she believes her baby is in a place of peace and that someday they will be reunited. This sense of faith has given her comfort, especially on the darker days when the absence feels too heavy. At the same time, she has leaned into hope, the hope of raising her 3 children to be compassionate, the hope of finding beauty in everyday moments, the hope of turning her pain into purpose by helping others. A message to mothers still grieving. Perhaps the most powerful part of Jade's 2-year reflection is her message to women who are still in the raw stages of miscarriage grief. If you're in the thick of it right now, please know this. It won't always feel this loud. One day, the grief will soften. It doesn't mean you'll forget. It means you'll learn how to carry it. She encourages women not to silence themselves, to share their stories if they can, and to allow themselves to both grieve and celebrate simultaneously. Turning pain into legacy. For Jade, Her missed miscarriage will always be part of her life story. But instead of letting it define her only in sorrow, she has chosen to make it a legacy of compassion. Every time she speaks openly about her loss, she reminds the thousands of women that their grief matters. Every time she acknowledges the quieter ache, she gives others permission to embrace their own complicated emotions. Grief doesn't end, Jade wrote, but it changes, and in that change, there can be room for love. Closing thoughts. 2 years on, Jade Roper's journey with miscarriage is not over because it never truly ends. But her ability to look back with gentleness, to sit with grief rather than fight it, and to help others along the way is a testament to her resilience. Her story is more than just another chapter in the life of a reality star. It's a mirror held up to countless women and families who have walked the same painful road. In Jade's words, raw, vulnerable, and now steadied by time, those families can find both recognition and hope. As she marks this milestone, Jade is no longer only the woman who lost a pregnancy. She is a mother who loves fiercely, a wife who has leaned on her partner, and a voice that reminds us grief may quiet down, but it never disappears. And in that quiet, there can be healing.